Hello everyone and welcome back to IELTS to the 9. Are you struggling with numbers, percentages, and data in IELTS Writing Task 1? You're not alone. In this video, I'll show you how to incorporate data smoothly, accurately, and with variety, just like a Band 8 Plus candidate. Let's dive in. First, let's see why data matters. Task 1 is all about reporting data. Whether it's a bar chart, pie chart, table, or line graph, your job is to describe trends and compare figures. So how you write about numbers directly affects your score for task achievement and lexical resource. In IELTS Writing Task 1, you'll often describe percentages or proportions, and how you present these numbers make a big difference in clarity and tone. I'm going to tell you about 3 methods you can use. Method number 1 is to use parentheses. One simple way to present data is to include the percentage in parentheses right after the noun. For example, public transport usage 60% in parentheses is the most popular commuting method in the city. This is quick and easy to read, a useful method when you want to keep your sentence clean and direct. Method number 2 is use a which plus be clause. A slightly more descriptive option is to use a relative clause with which plus be to add the percentage. For example, public transport usage, which is 60%, is the most popular commuting method in the city. This structure is still simple, but gives your writing a more formal and polished feel. Method number 3 is to use academic verbs for a higher band. If you want to sound more academic and precise, especially when dealing with comparisons or overall trends, use formal verbs like account for, constitute, and make up. These are perfect for showing what portion or percentage something represents. Here are some examples. Females account for 60% of university students. Online sales constitute a quarter of total sales. Renewables make up 30% of the country's energy output. These verbs are especially useful when comparing categories, summarizing key features, or describing dominant trends, exactly what IELTS examiners look for. Now that we've talked about how to present data, let's take it a step further and learn how to write the numbers using different wording, a great way to avoid repetition and showcase a wider range of vocabulary. In this part of the exam, you're likely to describe the percentage or proportion of something, but instead of repeating percentages, you can often use fractions or approximate expressions. Here are some common percentage to fraction conversions. Instead of 10%, you can say 1 in 10, and instead of 20%, you can say a fifth. 25% is a quarter, and 50% can be replaced by half. And finally, 75% is 3/4. Here is an example. Instead of saying 75% of respondents, say 3/4 of respondents. Now you may ask, what if the number isn't easy to convert, like 17% or 43%? Simple. Find the nearest round number and use qualifiers to make your description accurate. For example, instead of 17%, you can say nearly a fifth. Instead of 43%, you can say just under half. And 68% can be replaced by well over 2/3. You can use words like nearly, almost, and approximately to show closeness to a number. For values above, you can use just over, slightly more than, or a little higher than. And for values below, you can say just under, slightly less than, or a little below. Another great way to describe percentages is to use descriptive words that express the size or importance of the number. Here are a few examples of how to replace raw percentages with more natural and academic expressions. For example, instead of 83%, you can say a very large majority. 72% can be replaced by a significant proportion. 12% would be a small minority, and 7% can be replaced by a very small number. You can also vary the noun depending on the context. For groups or survey results, use proportion or majority. For countable data, use number, and for uncountable items like money and time, use amount. Okay, now let's wrap up with a few quick tips to keep in mind when writing about data in IELTS Writing Task 1. Don't just list numbers. Group, compare, and describe them. Use academic phrases like account for, constitute, and make up. Vary your vocabulary using fractions, approximations, and descriptive language. Stay objective. No opinion or personal comments. Now you're ready to describe data like a pro in IELTS Writing Task 1. If this video helped, give it a like, subscribe for more IELTS tips, and drop a comment with your questions or topics you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching and good luck with your exam.